Okay. I open with my usual stuff, but this player opens with the D pawn, directly engaging the C pawn. So I take and I support it with the D pawn. I chose F2, F4 to build a center. I know it opens up the king side, but I thought it was worth it. And once I got the knight out, there's no issues with queen checks on H4. Supported the pawn, preparing to fianchetto the bishop on G2. And this was an interesting dynamic in the early part of the game. My opponent kept putting his bishop on A6 to avoid me having the castle, or to prevent me from having the castle. And I was willing to accept that with an exchange, and he kept going back. And finally he took. So I moved over. So here, my opponent's trying to provoke some exchanges to open up the center. Tooks. I thought it was a good move here to control the center. And here I'm pressing A3 to prevent any B4 nonsense, but he still does it. So takes, and here I move queen to D3 to unpin the knight. And this was an interesting move. My opponent wanted to provoke a knight exchange, but it left this pawn over here on C6 vulnerable, and then now I'm attacking both the bishop and the queen. So I end up taking the bishop, exchanging the rooks, and then snatching a pawn and attacking the queen. I was almost sure my opponent was just going to check me on either A1 with the rook and or C1 with the queen, but but he just moved up one, perhaps trying to set up a rook check followed by the queen. But it left this fork, which wins the queen straight away, and then it was just a series of moves, and that about wrapped it up. So that's all she wrote. A short one, but a meaningful one.